You're going to like this one. A report today claims that Liverpool are interested in a move for an attacking fullback by the name of Jeremie Frimpong. You guys have been asking me for a long time about Frimpong, and you guys have been shouting his name from the rooftops, but I've never had anything to pin down to give you guys optimism. But today, a report coming out suggests, and it comes from Depor, DEPOR, that Frimpong, previously of Manchester City and Celtic, is a target for Liverpool to bring in to, I don't know if it's to cover or to replace Trent and move Trent into midfield. I don't know. But we're linked with a move for him. They talking about £35 million for the fee for Jeremie Frimpong. I did look through his, looked on Wikipedia and looked back through his career. Started out at Manchester City, spent, I think, a good time in Manchester City's youth product. Then, of course, went up to Celtic, is now applying his trade with Bayer Leverkusen under the tutelage of Xavi Alonso in the Bundesliga, Dutch international. And do you know what? That I learned today. I did not know he was a Dutch international, Frimpong. They're kind of spoiled, aren't they? Dumfries and Frimpong. So, yeah, this is a potential good bit of news. And at that money, at £35 million, if it's true and if Liverpool do push ahead to try and sign him, it would be very good value. So I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think? Jeremie Frimpong, would you take him at Liverpool? I know he's a name that you've mentioned to me, and I'm always honest with you. If you guys say a name to me, I look into it, but I don't always come back to you with something because there might not be something there. But today, I see the report, and I knew you guys would be happy with it, so I'm going to give you a few more bits of information on him. He is 22 years of age. He plays as a right wing back for Bayer Leverkusen. He has made 36 appearances for Celtic in his career with 3 goals. So far at Bayer Leverkusen, he's made 80 appearances. He's yet to... Oh, no, he scored 12. Sorry, 12 for Bayer Leverkusen. He's represented the Netherlands at under 19, under 20, under 21 and senior, having his first senior cap. He spent quite a while, I think 9 years, as a youth product at Manchester City. So he's certainly been about already in a relatively young career. Gone up to Celtic in 19 to 21, up there, as in 2019, 2021. Yeah. Does that mean Trent is moving into midfield? Well, probably, because you're not going to go out there to try and bring in Frimpong as an example if you're going to keep Trent at right back, because nobody's going to come in for that position. I don't see him as being a utility player. So I think if this is true, and I want to say a big if because it's one report, you'd have to imagine that Jurgen sees Trent's future in midfield. So yeah, Jeremie Frimpong. It's certainly an interesting one, and it's one that I knew you guys would be happy with because you've been mentioning his name for quite a while. Trent can defend. He makes plays, moves up. Yes, he can defend. So with Frimpong, right, if Liverpool bring in Frimpong, my concern for Trent is what midfield position does Jurgen maybe look to move him into? Because I've got to be honest with you, I don't see him as a natural number 6. I never see Trent as a natural number 6. He can defend, but not enough. I don't think he's got the defensive nous to play in the number 6 role in the way we think of a number 6 as a second number 6. Yeah, we've seen that with his little hybrid role from right back inside. But I would suggest that if Jurgen sees Trent as a midfielder, I'm going to say we'd probably have to change system if you want to make him an out-and-out midfielder. Because I don't see Trent having a place in the current system where Klopp gets him central enough. Because I don't think he'd be suited to a Szoboszlai type position or a Gakpo type position in behind the attack. I think with Trent's attributes, you'd want him deeper. You'd want him spraying balls around from the centre of the park. So it's an interesting one. Maybe it all ties together. But I knew you'd like it because it's a name that we've mentioned quite a bit. Trent on the right wing, if Mo leaves, there's very little to say no to Trent as a right winger. Honestly, I can't think of many attributes that he wouldn't be able to bring. maybe lacking a small bit of pace if we want them to play that. But if you're talking about somebody who can invert, who can cut inside, even onto his bad foot, to his left foot, do I see a situation where Trent can play wide right? Well, I can see him whipping in balls and spraying passes from that position. I just don't think he has the pace for it. So again, I don't think it's a natural position for Trent. If you're talking about Trent, you'd maybe think of an old 4-4-2 style system with him in a David Beckham-esque right winger position, where you've got two older fashioned centre forwards and you're putting crosses in behind defenders. But not in the modern day. I don't know if it's the right fit for Trent. So why I keep getting confused about the urgency or the need and the want of people to get Trent out of this hybrid right back position. I think where he is right now gives us pretty much everything we need, as long as we have the recovery pace and our right attacker, i.e. Mo in this situation, defends enough, which Mo does. You know, I don't see the problem with Trent where he is. Keep Trent as a hybrid or put him in midfield. So look, let me ask another one. Do you think there's any way that Frimpong would come in if he knew he was going to be competing or rotating with Trent? Because it's not like you're looking at, let's say Andy Robertson, use that as an example. If I'm a young left back and Liverpool are after me, I can see a situation where Andy Robertson has a couple of years to go maybe, and then I become a real challenger for him. I'm not going to see that with Trent, am I? Because Trent's nowhere near the age bracket where you're thinking about his best days being behind him. So that's what makes me weary of the links to the likes of Frimpong. I don't think it's time for a right-sided player. I think it's a left-sided fullback in that age bracket that we need right now. I think Trent would suit central attacking midfield. So we play with two in that position, and they're not central attacking midfielders really as such. They're two midfielders, one sitting on the left, one sitting on the right, just in behind the attackers, and Klopp wants to get them up and down the pitch, not in straight lines, but certainly in those half spaces. I don't see it with Trent. If you want the best out of Trent, I don't mean to use another NFL analogy, but a quarterback role is what you want Trent doing. You want them being able to spray those passes. Look, if you moved them up the pitch, he'd have less time on the ball, first and foremost. Less margin for error with those lovely raking passes diagonally. And you'd be looking for more finesse from Trent. And that's where you get your Soboslais, your McAllisters, your players who have a bit more guile and craft in enclosed spaces. And that, I don't think of Trent when I think of that style of player.